Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're talking about a little bit of drama coming out of the LEC. Today this is regarding the newest team in the league, and not even that, I guess it's a team that's not even in the league yet. We are going to be talking about Team Heretics. Yes, before they are even officially in the LEC, obviously they're going to be, kicking things off in the 2023 season, like January 2023, whatever. They're going to be going through this off season. They're already finding themselves in hot water, which on one side, it's like, maybe that's not a great sign. Hey, Riot, what the heck are you doing? But on the other side, maybe it's like, hey, they're going to fit right in perfectly. They're going to be one of these spicy, interesting orgs that's always getting themselves into stuff. It's always going to be content. It's always going to be entertainment. Who knows for sure? But first, I wanted to dive into just what exactly Team Heretics is, because I'm not sure everyone knows. Obviously, a lot of Spanish fans will be very, very familiar with Team Heretics, and ERL fans will be very familiar with them, and it just kind of depends. But there will be definitely a lot of LEC fans and Western fans and fans around the world that hear Team Heretics and they're like, who's that? That doesn't mean anything to me. They're not K-Corp. They're not Koi. I've never heard of this team. So this team is a Spanish esports organization founded in 2016, apparently by YouTube user Gorgo. They first entered the League of Legends scene in January of 2017. They have an interesting ERL team. They have Jack Spectra as their AD carry. I'm sure they'll be keeping him and bringing him up to the LEC. I believe they play in the Spanish League, and I also believe, they play in the Spanish League, and I also believe that they have now qualified for, not Worlds, I wanted to say Worlds. I believe they've qualified for EU Masters, so that is cool. That, we'll get to see them. Yeah, they finished second in the playoffs. They're going to EU Masters. That is cool that we will get to see them going to EU Masters before they go to the LEC. It'll be a chance for fans to actually get more eyeballs on them and stuff. Overall, I think that'll be cool. This YouTube guy, Gorgo, he has like 2 million subs on YouTube. So, this is kind of, I guess, one of the founders or the guy who started it or whatever. Obviously, very, very popular YouTuber, very, very popular content creator. You can see it looks like it's all Spanish. So, like I said, they're going to have a big Spanish audience. And over in Europe and in the LEC, there is definitely a lot of Spanish fans. They are definitely a big bunch. You see, even like G2 has tapped into a lot of Spanish fans. Obviously, G2 is trying to get the whole European market and the whole global market, but there are a lot of Spanish fans. We've seen Flockhead. When Flockhead came up, there was a lot of fans, a lot of hype, a lot of excitement around him. The Spanish fans seem very loyal, very passionate, whatever. So this will be interesting. Overall, it seems like they're a big team. Also, here you can see the Team Heretics YouTube channel has 1.48 million subscribers, which is really, really big. You can see recently they don't post all that often, but like 300K, 160K, 1.2 mil, 105K, 114K. I mean, this is like a lot more views than I see most teams in the LEC or LCS getting on their YouTube channels. Their LEC announcement didn't do that well. It's only been out for 5 days, but only got 63K views. So I don't know. Obviously, Team Heretics fans overall, I'm sure, aren't mostly League of Legends fans. It seems like they're in a lot of other games as well and do a lot of other stuff. And it seems like they do, some IRL stuff. Looks like some Fortnite. I want to say they do like Rocket League and stuff like that too. I know they're in Valorant. So they're kind of all over. They're definitely going to have to build up their LEC fan base. They're definitely going to have to build up their League of Legends fan base. They, like I said, they have a League of Legends team. They're in the ERLs. But I don't think this, 1.5 million subs is mostly from League or even largely from League or anything like that. But that's a little bit about them. We recently got to this Reddit thread. This was a couple days ago. Team Heretics, the rumored new LEC team, is called out by an unpaid employee. And this led to a huge Twitter shitstorm, a huge Reddit shitstorm. And yeah, tons of drama, tons of controversy. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is just alleged. We don't know what's true, what's not. But it led to a lot of this. So, this link says not paying their photographer. Takes us to some tweets, which have since obviously been deleted. So these are no longer here. I saw these at the time. I wish I could remember. This was, I think, around a week ago at this point. I don't remember exactly what this one was, but I think it was along the lines of, they just had a photographer who was working for them, using pictures for them or whatever, and they used the guy's pictures, and they never paid, at least is the claim. It's all alleged. I don't know exactly what happened, but it got deleted. Maybe they straightened things out with them. Maybe they clarified. Maybe he was wrong, not telling the truth. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but these tweets have since been deleted, but that does not mean that there is not more spicy stuff. We also have not paying the termination fee of a player's contract and suing their own player for a Valorant tier list, which is super, super funny. So we can see this here. From XL Foxy GG, which is apparently a professional Valorant IGL. I guess he played for Team Heretics. He says, Team Heretics have the money for LEC, but couldn't pay me my termination fee. This is crazy. He said, hey, all this can be fixed if I get my 10K, that's all. And then he says, hey, at LEC, can you slide me 10K for my troubles? Which is absolutely hilarious because, again, the rumors are that, Heretics paid, between 30 and 40 million for this thing, for 80% of the LEC slot. The rumors that the LEC slot's valued between like 45 and 50. They're paying around 30, 40, somewhere around there for 80% of it. And some of that money, yes, goes to the LEC. I believe some of that money goes to revenue sharing for all the orgs as well. So yeah, the LEC's got some money all of a sudden, and obviously Heretics had some money all of a sudden if they were willing to drop tens of millions of dollars minimum on this LEC slot. So now, people are going to be like, hey, you guys got that money. Hey, you guys are throwing a lot of money around. Hey, congrats on making the LEC, but, you owe me $10,000 and you're not paying it back. So that is kind of weird, kind of interesting, whatever. So this was strange because there has been in esports a long kind of history or tradition or whatever, for lack of a better word, of, especially with smaller orgs, especially with people in, ERLs or amateur leagues or under leagues or whatever. It hasn't been as big of a deal in League of Legends esports. I mean, we've definitely had our instances, but League of Legends esports is one of the most professional established esports in the game now. But there has been a history of people not getting paid or only partially getting paid, or orgs trying to stiff people and then having justifications for it, or just straight up not having the money, offering stuff to people and then just straight up not having the money. Because again, a lot of these businesses lose money and you think you have enough money and then you start losing money and then all of a sudden you don't have enough money. A lot of craziness going on. So this is something that definitely hits home with a lot of players, a lot of management, a lot of fans and stuff. And you start hearing stuff like this, like, oh, hey, Team Heretics coming to the LEC. I don't know anything about them. And this is the first thing you ever hear. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and this didn't sit right with a lot of people. But we still have one more thing, again, suing their own player for a Valorant tier list. Same guy, in this thread, he says, Team Heretics have the money for LEC, but couldn't pay me my termination fee. This is crazy. Then we have a deleted tweet. Again, deleted tweets all over this situation. And then he says, hey, you threatened to sue someone who made a tier list and put your org at the bottom. Salute. And then we have another deleted tweet. He says, hey, you want me to show you the lawyer letter? I'll expose you right now, you idiot. And then he tweets out this, which says, my tier list for 2022, this is obviously my opinion, and if I left anyone out, I apologize. He's got his S tier, A, B, C, D, E, mid, to be honest, good night. And then he has Alonante and friends. I'm not sure who Alonante is or if I'm even saying that right or whatever, but he obviously has Team Heretics here down at the bottom. And then this is a letter which he claims is from these people's lawyer. I don't know. He says, by means of the Twitter post above, you expressed a derogatory and defamatory opinion about my client, causing considerable damage to the image of the club for the purpose of the esports fan community and specifically Valorant fans. Now, what exactly was going on in this Twitter thread? Don't you guys worry. We have screenshots. People were saving this. People knew that this was probably getting deleted. And we have Arnau Vidal, who says, you breached your termination agreement in multiple ways. Even if we advised your agent beforehand, it looks like you still didn't learn anything. So they are claiming that they did not pay out his $10,000 fee, but they are claiming it's because the contract was breached. At least that's what it sounds like to me. He also says, you perfectly know it had nothing to do with that. Grow up, which is hilarious because they're saying it had nothing to do with this Valorant tier list. But then again, he shows this from the lawyer, and this sounds like lawyer lingo of, hey, by the means of the Twitter post above, you expressed a derogatory and defamatory opinion about my client. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to say that they're not paying him out because he, they had a defamation clause in his contract and then he's going on Twitter and defaming them. But at the same time, I'd be like, hey, this is just a tier list. Is this really defamation? He doesn't even have you an F tier. He has you an Alonante and friends tier. Is that derogatory? Is that defamatory? I don't know. It's at least funny, but is that a reason for you to not pay out $10,000? And at the end of the day, is $10,000 any amount of money to these multi-million-dollar orgs? Is not paying out $10,000 worth it? It sounds like they want to be really petty of hey, man, you breached the contract. We're not giving you that money. When, they're costing themselves more than $10,000 in publicity and PR by having Arnau Vidal, their founder and co-owner, going on Twitter and making an ass of himself in this whole situation, and just XL Foxy tweeting this thing out in the first place. Again, a lot of people had never even heard of Team Heretics, and all of a sudden, this is their first impression of Team Heretics, their first impression of Arnau Vidal, and it's not looking so good. And then there's a lot of people just being like, oh man, what are we getting into? This is our new LEC team. This is the team that we found. This is the team we got. This is the team that's buying our slot. A team that, is already doing all this bullshit and already going through all this stuff. Like, so many people have a bad taste in their mouth from bad experiences with other orgs. I hope Team Heretics will be better. I hope they're putting this stuff behind them. I hope they're going to learn from these experiences. I hope they just pay this guy's $10,000 and get on with their life and, do things hopefully in a better way. Yeah, maybe this guy was defaming them. Maybe, technically his contract should have been voided or whatever. Maybe, who knows? But also at the same time, again, is it really worth the hassle? Is it really worth, going to battle for $10,000 when you're spending $30 to $40 million on an LEC slot? I would probably say no, but maybe they think otherwise. Who knows for sure? Either way, I know a lot of fans were concerned. There was a lot of talk on Twitter of like, oh wow, there's no good orgs. Hey, esports orgs all suck. Oh hey, this is the 10th freaking org we've heard trying to do stuff like this and trying to do crap. And we had Surge Management come out and saying, hey, don't be doing this shit with our clients. We're gonna be going to battle with you now. We're happy to see you in the LEC, but now it's time to go to work. That's the management agency for like Kadril and Bjergsen and Jensen and like all these big name guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how Team Heretics shows up and shapes up over the next couple of months and years to see how they're able to fit and do in the LEC. Obviously, our newest team, Team BDS, not off to such a hot start. Hopefully, Heretics does better. But so far, so not good for them. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me, drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this video today. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Consider checking out the Discord. First link in the description below. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.